Hello everyone and welcome to this week's ICE commentary on the Russell 2000 and US equity markets. My name is Travis McKenzie from Trade with Precision and I'll be filling in for Nick McDonald this week. Now, leading on from what Nick was talking about last week, on this weekly chart, he had spoken about how price had pulled back into this buy zone. We then had an indecision candle here, and then the next week, so the week before last, we'd broken up with a reasonably bullish green candle. Now, what Nick was talking about was if we could get another break above the top of this candle, well, that was going to look very, very bullish. And that's exactly what we did get on that weekly chart. However, I'll just show you what happened on the daily, which I thought was quite interesting, was that we've been talking about this key level at 780 here, so 780, and we've tested that quite a few times. At the start of last week, on Monday and Tuesday, price retraced back towards that level, has bounced off that level, and then has an aggressive buying pattern all the way up to end the rest of the week. So just showed you how key and strong that 780 level is. Now, where is the next key level that I can see? Well, it's up here at 828. So if I just blow this chart up for you, and we can just see in the past, 828 has been very, very strong. Now, what I'm expecting to see here is, as prices pushed up so hard without any sort of a pullback at all, I won't just be jumping in looking for a break of this level. Like, I won't just go and put an order to get long as price breaks through here. Not at all. The reason I say that is because price will always tend to move up, have a breather, move up, have a bit of a breather, move up, have a bit of a breather. You can see the length of these moves up here compared to the pullbacks. And that's exactly what I'm expecting to happen here. Prices pushed up without any real breather. And I believe that when it gets up towards this 828 level, we will see either some sort of a consolidation along that level and then a break, or we may even see a pullback. By that time, these moving averages would have crossed into the right order, and I wouldn't be surprised to see price pull back towards the buy zone that will be based on the 10 and the 20, and then have another push of that level. If price consolidates along that level, forming higher lows into it, well then by all means I will trade the break, well potentially I may trade the break of that level. If it tests and pulls back into the buy zone and then pushes higher, again I'll be waiting to potentially trade breaks at that level. Now, those traders out there that are an aggressive traders that like to go down to the much smaller time frames may want to try and trade a retracement back to those moving averages before another push higher. So they may want to short off that level. Personally, myself, not really the style of trading that I like to do. I like to trade with the overall higher time frame trends. So I'll be looking for either breaks of that level, or once it breaks up through that, if I can't get a position that meets my criteria, I'll be looking for pullbacks to that level and looking for bounces long off that level, where again I'll be looking to get long. So I do think that is looking very bullish, and I do think we will see a break of that and then a push higher to test this 845 level. Let's just check on the other cash markets to see they are agreeing with what I'm seeing on that. Now, looking first at the Dow here on this daily chart, you can see we're pushing right up to these highs, probably the highest price it's been since the global financial crisis. Now, that level is around approximately 13,288. So 13,288 is around that level. And we've got a similar situation here as we do on the Russell. Price has pushed up, had a decent breather, has had a big push up, and again I think we'll see exactly the same situation, either a consolidation before it breaks or a retracement back into the buy zone before it breaks. But I think that is backing up definitely what we're seeing on the Russell there. I'll just like the weekly, and you can see on the weekly that once price does break through there, it's got a decent run higher that it hasn't been since 09. Now let's have a quick look at the S&P 500. Now, with the S&P 500, it's probably not at the same, well, it isn't at the same levels that the Dow and the Russell are, in the sense that it's got a bit more room to move before it gets up to this next resistance point, about 1420. But that still looks very, very bullish there on that. And the monthly looks fantastic, higher highs and higher lows, looks great. Now look at the Nasdaq. Now on the Nasdaq, Nick was speaking about last week that on this weekly chart, it was looking the most bearish because it had a pullback and there was no green candle, where the other cash markets were showing green candles. It was still red, but he was saying it was the most overextended out of all the markets, and it was the one that was due the pullback the most. It had that pullback into the buy zone, and now we've had a very solid bullish green bar that's broken these highs and looks like it could push on to higher levels as well. So I think all those cash markets are definitely backing up what I'm seeing there on the Russell. So there you go. I hope that gives you a bit of a plan or some thoughts on what I'm seeing for the week coming up and how I'll be trading the Russell going forward. Hope you all have a great week's trading.